Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Think Your Way to an Epic Life. And we have a very special guest today. Beth comes to us as an expert who has trained over 250,000 yoga teachers across the nation. She is an unbelievable entrepreneur, and we're really looking forward to learning what she has to teach us. She also knows an awful lot about everything, pretty much meditation, biohacking. This is going to be a very fun episode. Beth, thank you so much for joining me.
Kara, thank you for having me.
It is my pleasure. So where did all this begin?
It began when I was 6 years old, and I taught myself how to do guided meditation and imagery to cure horrible migraine headaches that I was suffering from. I did yoga as a child, although I didn't really know what it was. And I've been working out in the health club environment since age 15. So I fell in love with fitness at an early age. I've been studying nutrition since college with an emphasis on natural supplementation to cure anxiety and depression. I've been studying biohacking now for roughly 10 years, and I've traveled all over the world from India to Asia, learning different healing modalities, again, most of which are natural.
I love that. That is definitely my bias for sure. So what is biohacking?
Biohacking is basically doing things to help yourself feel younger and think better. So it's physical health, it's cognitive function, it's really optimizing you as a human being, physically, mentally, intellectually, energetically. For any of your listeners who saw the movie Limitless with Bradley Cooper, that was a great example of someone who biohacked himself, with the use of that pill, that elusive pill that we all wish we could find, to make ourselves smarter and learn 10 languages at once and become experts at investing in the stock market. But with the absence of that pill, there are different things that we can do to, again, feel better, look younger, and keep our brains active and healthy. And I think for entrepreneurs, that's so important, is to maintain cognitive function as we get older, because it's nothing that's really talked about that much until people get dementia or Alzheimer's. And we want to make sure that, our prefrontal cortex is online and that we're really optimizing our cognitive function.
Okay, I love that. So that's got to be one of my favorite movies, the NZT pill that everybody is so you are the next best thing to an NZT pill.
Well, let's say I've tried a lot of things that are the next best thing to that pill.
Okay. Okay. Well, just doing the research on you, it is mind-boggling. Everything that you've accomplished. It's fairly rare for someone who thinks the way that you do to be so business-minded. How did that happen?
Oh, wow. I guess I just got lucky in that respect. I grew up in New York City, and I've been interested in business and commerce for quite some time. But I also have the other side that is interested in more spiritual and esoteric pursuits. So I get to see things from a variety of different angles. But having a business mind and an entrepreneurial mind is something that comes very naturally to me. I'm highly creative. I have, more business ideas than I'll ever be able to take action on. And I don't even feel like I've scratched the surface of what I would like to accomplish from a professional standpoint yet.
And that is mind-boggling, right? I think that everyone gets there. You're a very accomplished woman. You have 4 books that are already published. It's what are your books about? If someone wanted to get to know more about you, which book would you recommend they start with?
Well, I think my favorite book is a book that I wrote called Yoga Lean, and it is a lifestyle book based upon Ayurveda and Ayurvedic medicine. So it's a way to understand your body type, Kara, and then it's a way of life to just stay in like normal body weight, maximize your opportunity using yoga, breathing exercises, meditation, weight training, different foods and supplements to either relax, get energy, restore, feel more youthful and more flexible. So I would say of all my 4 books, Yoga Lean is really my favorite. We also run through yogafit.com, we run online Yoga Lean weight loss and weight management classes. They're 8-week series, and that's something we're doing pretty much constantly.
Okay, so we will definitely put the link to Yoga Fit below. Who all could benefit from that site?
Well, really anyone who may be suffering from back pain, from poor sleep, from a weak core, anxiety, depression. We have many different therapeutic health trainings for people who are suffering with PTSD or trauma. And let's face it, we've all been traumatized in the past 3.5 years. So anyone who wants to improve their health can take a training. It's not just for people to be teachers, but really to teach ourselves how to take care of ourselves. And through the practice of yoga, mindfulness, meditation, we really learn to listen to the body, Kara, and then we learn to move appropriately, to eat appropriately, and we get much more in touch with these bodies that we inhabit, that are our homes, our temples, for the duration of our lifetime.
It's fun. I watched a video of you. You are quite an accomplished speaker, my dear. And to hear you say, I just want you to know I'm 110 years old. When you start off, I think it's just a great way to start. So do you have any stories besides your own that come to the top of your mind that someone has been massively transformed through any of this that you're teaching?
Well, Kara, I have trained people all over the world. YogaFit is an international training organization. So we've done a lot of work in all 7 continents. I've done a lot of trainings in Saudi Arabia, believe it or not, and worked with women there. And I'm always amazed. I'll go there and teach them. And then a year later, I'll come back and I see that they have more confidence, they're standing up taller, they're empowered. And I know it's from the work that we have done together, because in each YogaFit training, and we do have over 250 of them, different educational courses, trainings, workshops. We're having a big conference in Palm Springs at the beginning of January, and then one in Chicago in February. There's a lot of self-growth built into all of our work. So, and I do a lot of work in Japan also. One of my colleagues from Harvard Business School owns 3 hospitals and 2 hotels, and is opening up a diagnostic wellness hotel where we'll have a YogaFit studio. And I've seen the instructors that I've trained there, lose like so much weight and get in shape in 6 months. So it's fun for me to go to a country, train people, and then come back 6 months to a year later and see the amazing transformation that has occurred. I was just moving into a new office the other day and came across a lot of letters from students and our trainers about how grateful they are to be part of YogaFit and to have participated. So we have really thousands and thousands of success stories from people whose lives have been touched and transformed through the YogaFit system.
That is not very surprising, honestly. I remember, I don't know how many years ago it is, but I saw a little thing on Raquel Welch. And at the time, she was 72 years old, and her body was gorgeous, absolutely cut beautifully. And the only thing she did was yoga.
Yeah, it's really amazing. I will say that when I'm teaching my online workshops, these yoga lean groups, I see and feel a difference in my body in a matter of days. Not that I don't have my own practice, but my own practice usually involves, like, at the end of a workout, I'll take 10 to 20 minutes to do some yoga. But when I'm actively engaged and I weight train, I have body fat percentage of anywhere from 14 to 16% usually. I got a lot of muscle on my body. I work out in the gym, I lift weights, I do a little cardio here and there, I walk a lot with my dog. But when I'm practicing YogaFit, the transformation is quick and amazing. It still surprises me all these years later.
And it's such a misconception. I really believe that the really big buff bodybuilder people think that yoga is not a real workout. And I can attest it is a very real workout. It is serious strength training, not to mention flexibility. And how important is flexibility?
Well, the Chinese have a saying that we should be like bamboo as we age, and that is strong and flexible. And it's my goal to get stronger and add more muscle mass to my body as I get older, but also to retain the flexibility, because I think one of the hallmarks of aging, Kara, is when we see people who have poor posture, they're hunched over, and technology is not helping any person now with their good posture, young or old. But you see people's skeletal mass shrink. Sarcopenia, which means muscle wasting, is a real thing that really starts happening around 35 years old. Testosterone levels, especially for men, start to drop around 30, 35 years old. So, you have a whole host of factors that that not only feel old to the people who are in those bodies, but also look old. And again, poor posture is one of them, and also inflexibility. You see a lot of people past a certain age kind of limping and hobbling around. Maybe they were much more active when they were younger, but they did not do the flexibility training and the sport specific poses that are so important to help prevent repetitive stress injuries on the body. So to me, everyone on the planet should be doing yoga, not just, to get peaceful and calm and connect with source consciousness, but also just to take care of their bodies in a way that's natural, organic, and really can be done anywhere, no equipment necessary.
Which is something that is the harder something is to do to start, the less likely it is that you'll do it or you'll follow through. So step one, someone could go onto your site and they could sign up for an 8-week program and just
Yeah,
follow the TV.
they can, and they can also, we have a platform on our website so people can sign up for our Yin network and take classes. They can take a virtual training. And again, these trainings are for anyone who wants to improve their health. We have yoga for cancer care, yoga for heart health, yoga for brain health, yoga's primary health care, yoga for physically and emotionally balancing the body, mind. I could go on and on. I don't have time to list all the trainings that we have, but it's definitely a worthwhile endeavor, again, especially for entrepreneurs. If you want to have a clear mind, focus, be present in the moment, and be mindful, I think every entrepreneur should do yoga.
Okay, I love that. So you've used the word mindful quite a bit. For the average person who has no clue, what does that actually mean? Can you give us a description?
Yes, that means being aware of one's body, being aware of one's thought process, being aware of their surroundings, being aware of hunger cues, wants versus needs. If we turn on the TV, Kara, we see either ads for fast food or ads for a pill because, a lot of people are sick from all that fast food. And so, we can get triggered into thinking, oh, I want those 10 tacos for $1. I want that, heavily processed factory farmed burger with a bun that was sprayed with glyphosate when it was in its wheat origins. Or we can really tune into our bodies and say, what does my body need now? Maybe I need like a hot vegetable soup or some green tea. Maybe I need a salad. So to me, mindfulness is being aware of all of our actions, our thoughts, our behaviors, our emotions, not reacting to some of them, because again, our thoughts create our feelings, and then our feelings will create an action or a reaction. And just pressing the pause button before taking a lot of action that we take. And I know entrepreneurs, because I'm one and I have ADD and I don't have much focus and I move very rapidly, and I'm from New York and I'm AAA personality type, and if it wasn't for yoga I would be a complete disaster, and may not even be on the planet anymore. But just to have the awareness of everything and how everything works together and how all systems of the body mind work together. And lastly, how we can't separate the body from the mind and it is all one.
Right. Yes. What do you, what is, are you into the barrier that people say there's a barrier between your brain and your body and that it shouldn't matter?
I believe that our bodies hold infinite wisdom and intelligence. And just like, let's say, someone who's working out in the gym and they feel a little twinge in a muscle, if we're not listening to the whispers of our bodies, they soon become screams. So I know from all the work that I've done as a teacher for the past 28 years now, 30 years, that our bodies store every life experience we have, trauma. Our thoughts can affect our bodies, and we can reset ourselves to be in optimal health, or we can set ourselves up for disease and illness with our thoughts, whether they're negative or positive. So it's all one unit, and we need to just recognize that as that body mind together.
Absolutely. I could not agree more. So you cover like an awful lot of topics, wellness, what, there's so much here. What is one thing for sure that you want our listeners to walk away from today?
That your health is your most valuable asset always. So entrepreneurs, be mindful of your health. I've seen too many entrepreneurs, especially female entrepreneurs, just, not taking care of their health, drinking too much, eating pizza for breakfast. And, without your health, you've got nothing. So please take care of your health.
Okay, I love that. So, Make America Healthy is a radio show that you host. And how can someone?
It's actually a podcast now.
It's a podcast. Very cool. Okay, so where can we find your podcast?
You can find my podcast, Make America Healthy, anywhere podcasts live.
Outstanding. Okay. Well, we will find one of those and put that link in there as well.
Please visit me online on Instagram at Beth Shaw Health, or you can go to my website, bethshaw.com.
Okay. bethshaw.com. Very cool. So how important you're obviously one of the most learning based people on the planet. How important has that been in your success?
To continue to learn?
Yes.
To me, it's everything. I think that having curiosity and wanting to expand one's knowledge base in a variety of directions keeps the mind healthy and young and gives one a sense of hope and purpose and expands your horizons many times. And one thing will lead to another, to another, to another.
Right. Exactly. It's like once you finally learn one thing, you think you're all there and you get to the top and you peek out and you're just at the very floor again because it's just so astronomical. Are there things that you learn that make you challenge and question your own thinking?
Yes, constantly. I've been doing a lot of studying of now different natural cures for anxiety and depression. So I've had the opportunity to meet a lot of people who do plant medicine and psychedelics. In fact, I presented at a couple of conferences about yoga and, the quest for enlightenment. And I think it's important to keep an open mind always and be open to both sides of any coin, and then put the pieces together in a way that makes sense for you and your belief system. But I also like to challenge my belief systems often, because I find that people who get too stuck in any one belief system get very rigid as individuals. And oftentimes you find people who have a rigid mindset end up with a very rigid, tight, stiff body.
Yes, that I never thought of it. I never put it together, but yes, that's the mind body connection there. So I have been hearing a lot more recently about like LSD. I can't remember what they call it. Incrementally microdosing. What do you know about that?
I do actually, and I have participated in some of that. I just recently found some articles that I had pulled from 2017 when it first started to come online and in vogue. I'm still doing a lot of research, mostly reading, but some experimental in that realm because I myself have suffered from depression on and off through my entire life. And I'm always looking for cures that do not involve a pharmaceutical pill um, to be of assistance. And so I have walked down the path of microdosing. And it's a very interesting path to walk, and you meet very interesting, nice people on that path.
Okay. And then the other one, and I'm sure I'll say it wrong too. It starts with an A, and I think it's a mushroom, and you get sick.
Ayahuasca.
Yes. What is the story on that?
That's the a root vine plant medicine combination that comes out of the jungles of the Amazon. And I have done ayahuasca probably about 12 times now. I did a retreat in Costa Rica earlier this year with mostly business professionals and entrepreneurs and some people from EO, which is a business group that I'm involved in. And it's like doing sometimes 10 years of therapy in one night. For me, as part of a spiritual journey that I'm on, it's helped connect me with source consciousness in a deeper way. It's helped me understand myself. I've had everything from past life regressions to remote viewing experiences from it. It's nothing that I do that often because one has to really prepare the body and the mind for that, including stopping caffeine, stopping alcohol, no prescription medication, no meat. So one has to prepare themselves and one has to really, I think, be called to it, be curious about it, and also not be fearful about it. Although, let's face it, anytime you do something new in life, there is always some fear and trepidation. But I have found, I've met an amazing community of people through my ventures into plant medicine. And I've seen a lot of people healed and transformed from that ancient medicine practice.
That is fascinating. I have a very dear friend who went to Costa Rica and did the same thing. I don't think it was at the same time that you were there, but you never know. We'll talk offline. She said the same thing. She said the same thing. She said that you do get sick, but it's like you are getting rid of all of the stuff, the bad stuff that's been carried in you forever.
Yeah.
But 10 years worth of therapy in one night sounds pretty hard to pass up. That's
Yeah, I mean, for people who are concerned about their time management, I think it's an excellent way to fast track results and also open doors that will lead you to new doors and new doors and new doors. So nothing is ever one-stop shopping, unfortunately. I wish it was like everything was one and done in life, whether it was an LSD microdose or a full dose or an ayahuasca trip or a workout in the gym or a yoga session. Yeah, life is all about consistency and repetition. And the entrepreneurs listening know that just from being in their own businesses.
I think people who are not entrepreneurs or haven't achieved a level of success don't understand how boring success truly is. It's doing the same thing that don't get me wrong, there are wonderful things, but I mean, you have to consistently do the things that make you successful.
And you also, I mean, I find still to this day, you have to do things you don't want to do. My accountant sent me like get W-9s on the 3 different businesses that I run, and it makes me want to take a gun to my head because I don't want to chase, but you have to do the things you don't want to do. And I think just from being a human practice, like being an entrepreneur is awesome because you cannot run away from your business. You cannot quit your job. And believe me, when I tell you, Kara, there are many days that I want to quit my job. And it's the yoga business. Yes, I know, but business is business and it's stressful. And again, the past 3.5 years for anybody who's been in the health and wellness industry has been like pushing the most giant boulder up a hill and having that boulder roll over you every day.
Yeah, I don't doubt that at all. I'm on the other side of that journey and I'm working with a naturopath, and it is, America. Now, this was last year. that I looked this up. I don't know what it is now, but America is number 17 in healthcare. And that is shocking to most people. They think that we're number one. And when you go to the doctor,
Turkey is number one or number two.
Israel is really high up there too.
I actually should Google that list. It doesn't surprise me. I have family members that have health challenges, and my dog actually has a health challenge. So I can just say, like, veterinary medicine is no better than traditional Western medicine. I've had doctors. I moved to Florida during the pandemic. I have doctors like cancel my appointments, and I don't go to conventional doctors very often, but doctors just cancel appointments. It's people need to take care of their own health, because otherwise, you're at the mercy of a system. It's like getting into the spin cycle of a washing machine, but you don't know when that spin cycle is going to end, much like getting into a litigation or into a legal thing, and it's really for anyone listening to the show, please take care of your health first and foremost. It needs to be your priority, because there's so many reasons why you need to do that. And from a time management standpoint, and the fact is, if you're listening and you're in the US, number 17 is not great.
It is not, and it is. I'm right there with you. I want to shout it from the rooftops. It breaks my heart when people that I love and care for come and say, "I was just diagnosed with this, and I'm going to do this." And you can't you can't say what you know, because if they're not open to it and they still have the mind of the doctor said it and I'm going to do whatever the doctor tells me to do, there's really nothing you can do.
Believe me, I know. I'm in the same boat with family members, and there's so much fear that gets instilled into us by this conventional Western medical system that we're in, that people go, and people just blindly follow what a doctor tells them. There's other forms of medicine available that are much older than our Western medical system. Ayurveda is 6,000 years old. Chinese medicine, probably even older. I actually had a friend of mine. I went to Stuyvesant High School in New York City, and I have a friend whose husband had a heart attack and then went into a coma a few years ago. And she got him to wake up from that coma by some Chinese herb she bought off Amazon that basically translates to wake up from coma.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. We literally could go on for hours, with this one topic.
Another show.
Okay, well, we should do that for sure.
Your health is your most valuable asset. Take care of it.
It is so true, and it's heart-wrenching. It's not something. It's like when you get into debt and you're in so much credit card debt, and I don't know what interest rates are on credit cards now, but I'm figuring they're probably.
I'm thinking they're 18 to 21%.
Yeah. So, but you just keep getting in worse and worse and worse. Well, health is the same thing. You don't understand until you're so far in the hole that you really can't hardly get out. However, if someone is listening today, what are some, I know every body, every human is completely different, but what are some basic things that absolutely you should cut out or you should add?
Well, it's interesting, Kara, that you talked about like getting into debt and equating that to health, because I do run a workshop for entrepreneurs that I teach at a lot of conferences and go into companies, and it's called Run Your Body Like a Business. Because we're either making positive deposits into the account, or we're taking out a withdrawal and there's a deficit by behaviors that are not helping us achieve our highest health and highest good and wellness. I think basic is get 6 to 8 hours of sleep a night. Make sure you stay hydrated. Do not eat processed foods, or employ a 90-10 rule. Try to cook your own meals whenever possible. Again, my book Yoga Lean has 35 recipes in it. I don't cook anything that takes more than 10 minutes, and I cook super healthy stuff, but I'd rather have control over my food than give that control up to someone else. Obviously don't smoke, don't drink excessively, keep your stress levels low, keep your cortisol levels low with yoga and meditation, mindfulness. have stress management tools. Exercise, so important, especially anybody over age 40, male or female, needs to be hitting the gym and lifting weights, um, for sure. And then, of course, flexibility practices like yoga, very helpful.
I heard that your muscle is the only organ in your body you have any control over, really. So you have to. And aren't you losing 1 pound a year after 30?
Yes, you are. So I track mine pretty vigorously using a device called the InBody, which a lot of functional medicine doctors and some gyms will have. There's a couple of other brands as well. But basically, you want to know your fat to muscle ratio, and you want to track it out over the course of time. A lot of these devices you can, keep historicals, but we need to be at least keeping our muscles as we get older, or adding to them, which even in our 70s, if we started a weight training program, we can do. Muscle is the key to longevity. And so it's so important that we keep our muscles. Ladies, don't be afraid to get too muscular. It's not going to happen unless you're like taking steroids. But and I'm fairly muscular. I track it. So if I've lost 2 or 3 pounds of muscle, I try to get on top of things, to take some amino acids, eat more protein, and work out more often. Again, I have a goal to get stronger as I get older, and I believe that it is possible. And I'm in my 50s, so.
Very good. Good for you. So you are worldly, incredibly successful, and you probably don't need to work anywhere near as hard as you work. What drives you?
Oh, a lot of things drive me. I think fear drives me. I don't want to end up like certain family members who are no longer on this planet, who died broke and penniless. So I think fear is a powerful motivator, if I'm honest. And also, there are a lot of things that I just want to accomplish personally, to feel self-expressed. To me, creating something out of nothing, whether it's writing a new book or creating a television show or a podcast or a new program for Yoga Fit, or actually, I'm going to be starting an online, I'm going to call it a church, but it's more like a spiritual service called the House of B. I'll be starting that in the new year, and that's to worship in the body temple in a very different way than one might go into a church or a temple and receive a sermon while sitting. It's going to be about inspiration and empowerment while moving and breathing, maybe dancing, doing yoga. So, there are things that I want to bring to the world. And that's really the only thing that keeps me motivated. I can't imagine ever retiring, and I can't imagine like life without working.
I don't think it was designed that way. I've heard that it was another country that wanted to take over a country, and they convinced them somehow that all of the people over a certain age should not be working, because they knew that would take all the wisdom away and they could easily defeat them. I need to check that out and see if that's reality.
And Kara, I believe there's some research that once people retire, they're usually dead within 6 years. So I think if we're not keeping our minds active and we don't have a sense of purpose, I believe as humans, we all need a sense of purpose. And so whether you're doing charity work, philanthropy, starting a new business, helping somebody out with their business, I think finding things that excite you and motivate you is everything to stay relevant. I wouldn't want to be on this planet unless I'm making a positive contribution. And I just wish more people would think that way. And for all the entrepreneurs listening, good job, and keep at it.
Right on. Well, thank you, Beth, so much. I have thoroughly enjoyed this, and we will do it again. We'll do it again just
I would love that.
on your body. So thank you so much. Is there any last parting words, any advice that you have for our folks before I let you go?
Just your health is your most valuable asset always. So take care of it. And if you need to find me, you can definitely just Google me and find me.
All right. And all of her stuff is linked below. Thank you guys for listening.
Namaste. Thank you so much.